Good afternoon, everyone. So we're going to call the meeting to order on Friday, June 18th at 1:04 p.m. We're going to start off with the roll call. Joe Rubio,
Absent.
absent. Mimi Kim,
She's here. I guess she got cut off.
Mimi Kim is
here.
here.
But we asked her to mute herself for a second.
So is here.
So she's here. Jody Mullidow,
Absent.
absent. Paul Vieira, present. Michelle Bauer-Bean,
Present.
and Dr. Susie O.
Here.
Thank you. So can I get someone to make a motion to approve today's agenda?
I, Michelle Bauer-Bean, make a motion to approve today's agenda.
Can I get a second?
I second it.
Okay, agenda has been approved.
You have to do the vote.
Can we do the vote? Joe Rubio, absent. Jody Mullidow, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Bauer-Bean,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O,
Aye.
Mimi Kim.
Aye.
Oh, good.
Okay, agenda has passed. Any public comments to the board? No? Okay. Can I get someone to make a motion to approve the consent items?
I, Michelle Bauer-Bean, make a motion to approve consent items.
Can I get a second?
I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor by saying aye. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidow, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Bauer-Bean,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Okay. Motion has been approved. Information session, superintendent report 3.1.
Great. Make sure everyone can see me and can hear me. So we're not doing all of our normal reports today due to the length of the agenda, and also some of the special needs of board members. But there are a few things that I just have to publicly celebrate before we move on to the rest of the agenda. For the first time in Vista history, we have summer school programs running with 120 students in Los Angeles and 205 students in Orange County. I just want to congratulate Karen and Colin and their teams for bringing together an incredible summer support for students, which not only is academic intervention, but using our way of counsel and our other supports for social and emotional learning and helping our kids get ready after the pandemic. So congratulations to our summer programs and to our teams who put that together. Also, I think it's very important to note that all of our schools were able to hold an end of the year culmination celebration, and that the response by parents and students was overwhelming and quite emotional. And they were done in different ways at different schools, but whether it was online with pre-recorded speeches in LA or whether it was in person at Templo Calvario's space for us, they were all just beautifully done and handled safely, and parents were grateful. And I just think that's a big celebration. Another big celebration is that the lights finally came on for Colin. And I guess I need to clarify that. His lights have always been on, but his building finally got electricity. And after, I can't even tell you how many months of waiting for the bureaucracy of Santa Ana Electrical to come through, they finally turned those on, I believe on May 16th or 15th. So congratulations there. We are up and running. Among all of the other things happening today, you should know that Karen and her team are currently having their first health and wellness fair, helping families and students access local services to support mental health, wellness, and active community participation. That's going on as we speak. I also want to alert you that Colin and his team also put together their first health and wellness fair last month. Huge success. But this leads me to a couple of other very special thank yous. First, I just need to recognize the work that Mimi Kim has done and what she did to put this together with Colin. Their health and wellness was not just done by Colin and his team, but it was also Mimi worked extensively with him to put together a fair like no other. She used her magic and her influence, like she always does, to get nationally acclaimed jiu-jitsu expert to give demonstrations and instruction. She brought together a huge special cadre of professional hairstylists that worked all day endlessly with a never-ending line of giving free haircuts to not just our kids, but to anybody in the community that wanted. And these are not, I just want to point out that these were not like, supercut students that came in to do these. These are professionals. And in fact, Mimi's hairstylist was one of them giving haircuts. So the quality that was given to the community. Vaccines were also given, and also a special shout out to Skylar and to Hunter, her son and daughter, who were really instrumental in helping get volunteers from Harvard Westlake to come in and to help out. They organized so much of the day, making it really possible. So a big shout out to them and to Future Generations Now, which is Skylar and Mimi's nonprofit. It was an unbelievable day. So much happened. And of course, as you know, there was plenty of food there. And again, Mimi was able to, she doesn't get just anything. She had really high-end people that were able to come in and serve the needs of the community with great refreshments. So I want to thank you, Mimi. You are always working so hard for us behind the scenes. And I just want the board to also know that you're planning on another one, August 1st, for Los Angeles, and that we'd love to invite all of the board out to that one as well. It's going to be a big day for recruitment and a big day for helping the community. I don't know if you want to say anything, Mimi, or
Thank you so much for that. It was a fun day for all of us, for me, and also it was great to have my family also together to give service and participate. So it was a great opportunity for us to bond as well as a family. Colin, thank you so much. This, I tell you, could not have done without Colin. He worked. He is a fast worker too. Whenever there's an idea, becoming a reality, he really get it there to the finish line. And by the way, the school is my first time visiting the school. It's absolutely gorgeous. I was really, really impressed with the school, how it's organized, set up, and Harvard Westlake students had a great time. They also earned their community hours because of it as well. So all in all, it was a great day all around. Only another one that I wanted to add is that because it was so great, one of our big, the supporters for Future Generations Now, they have a girl group that does K-pop. So when BTS, I don't know these groups, but when they come for the concert, they actually are the ones doing the backup dancing. So they're willing to do a teaching class on August 1st when we do one downtown here. So they would actually get some of the girls excited to come out as well. So hopefully we'll learn from this one and it'll be a bigger, better, and more successful event on August 1st.
Well,
but thank you, everyone.
And thank you, Mimi. And see if you can get BTS out there too. I'm sure we will have lots and lots of people joining that day. So thank you. I just can't tell you how much your support is appreciated, and I want to do that publicly. Also, just a shout out to her husband, and who was also there. The whole family was there, so thank you. And then last, before we move on, I also want to give a special thanks to Dr. O. Dr. O, she was able to get me and Michael interviews with the Korean Daily newspaper and the Korean Times, two of the most important publications in the Korean-speaking world, by the way. The Korean Daily is only third in distribution to LA Times and La Opinion. So that you can imagine the impact. So we were able to, we have one last week, this week, and one the week before. We were able to meet with them, have interviews, and then get articles about Horizon and get the word out about our school in Koreatown. So Dr. O, thank you. And then last, all of you here today, thank you for being so diligent about making these meetings. As a board member, I remember it seemed like the monthly meetings came up so quickly, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's another one already. So to have you guys here and is very, we're grateful. We can't do this work without you, so thank you. And I'm not going to forget this time. I always thank my principals and their teams. That goes, it shouldn't go without saying, it does go without saying, but thank them. But Arturo, I want to thank you publicly. I didn't do it on Wednesday. I'm not going to miss it today. Everything that you see on that agenda today has Arturo's thumbprint on it, because without him and what he does, we just wouldn't be able to do it. So thank you to Arturo for making sure our budgets and everything is up and running. You really are, you're such a hero for us. So thank you. And with that, we'll move on to Arturo, Paul. We'll skip the others.
Okay, thank you, Mimi. Thank you, Dr. O. You guys are both amazing, everyone. So now we're moving on to Icon Financial Report 3.5.
Well, yeah. Thanks for the kind words, Don. I appreciate it. But it's definitely a team effort, and the principals definitely stepped up with all of the documents that are up for the board discussion today.
Yeah, your guys, it's amazing what you guys did. And I cannot believe we got to the finish line, but we did. So thank you to you and to everyone.
All right, so today I'm going to discuss two things. One are the preliminary budgets for each of the schools, and then we'll look at the May financials. So these budgets are the ones that are correlated with the LCAPs that you'll be approving in the actions, as well as the budgets that are after the LCAPs, which is the correct process to go through. We'll start off with Vista LA this time. From what you remember from last month, it's when you Vista LA, what's going to be in a tight position financially next year because of their drop in enrollment. The good news is we do have the school showing a operating income of about 157,000, which is just around 2.5%. What's driving that is really the decrease in revenue. The biggest part of that is your ADA. So this past year and the year before, the school was getting paid off of 372 ADA. Our current projection is 330 students for next year. And at 95%, that's a 313 ADA. So you can see there, it's almost 60 ADA that we're dropping out. That impacts your LCFF, it impacts special ed, it impacts some of your federal revenue as well. The fortunate thing is that this year, or 21-22, we have some additional funding we're able to allocate in. So we are including about 195,000 of ESSER 2. We still have quite a bit of ESSER 2 remaining to use as a backup, as well as the IPI grant, so the in-person instruction grant for the middle school. We're looking at pushing all into next year, as well as the ELO grant, about 202,000 portion. So when you combine this 131 and this 195, you can tell that that really drives this number here. So since it's above this number, without that, the school would be in the red this upcoming school year, again, because of the enrollment. Part of that is that we are maintaining current staffing levels. So when we look on the expenditure side for the middle school, you'll see that our staffing costs do go up versus the current year. So minimum certificated salaries, classified's larger than the current year at second interim, because the second interim we're looking at, we're looking at less hours this year for some folks. And then next year we're looking at the full hours again for being back and fully opened. But when we look at book supplies and other service and operating procedures and operations, you can see that that drops off significantly. So overall, our total expenditures are still below next year, which keeps us in the black for the middle school. The goal is returns up, and once you get back up to that 360, 380 enrollment, the school should be heading in the right direction. It should be fine. So it's a fortunate 1 year. When we get to the May financials, you'll notice that this year is very, very healthy for the middle school. So it'll help build that reserve and continue to do that. Looking at Heritage. So compared to what we were projecting for this year, it's a little bit healthier next year, about 463,000 operating income. A lot of that is driven by revenue growth, and that's by enrollment. So next year we're looking at 400 ADA versus this, or 388 ADA, 400 enrollment versus a 271 ADA in the current year. When we looked at this last month, we were first looking at 425 ADA, but at enrollment or how that's going, we decided to be a little bit more conservative and go with 400. We are in federal revenues up. That's revenue driven by some ESSER 2 and nutritional funding. And then on the state side, we are including half of the IPI since that payment gets put in next next school year, and then the portion of the ELO grant that has expenditures during that year. So overall, revenue is going about 2.1 million, but it's really being driven by that student enrollment and a little bit of this additional funding. On the expenditure side, you'll see lots of changes, lots of growth, primarily staffing. So big increases to staffing, 5 new teachers, counselor for the high school portion, along with a salary increase you guys provided last month, and similar staffing increases on the classified side. Books and supplies, again, filling out furniture for the new school property, supplies for 9th grade expansion, etc. When we look at services and operating, the biggest portion of this, honestly, is your facilities cost. So now that you're in the brand new building, your facilities costs are starting to go up significantly. The good thing is that you are getting more SB 740 funding, which is charter school facility funding, because your enrollment is growing. So your cap on that funding also goes up, which will help offset that a bit. But Heritage has a nice, healthy balance for next year. Looking at Condor, this drops off slightly, so to 286,000. That's still above 5%, or still around 4 to 5%. So still within that 3 to 5% that you want to be at. Condor is also experiencing some growth, not as significant as Heritage. So going to 300 enrollment and growth in ADA of about 70. So from 213 to 285. We are including some ESSER in here. So we were very conservative on these budgets to see what we can offset right away. And that way that remaining ESSER amount is really incremental for the school to be able to utilize how they wish versus trying to stay afloat. Similar, we'll included half of the IPI that gets received next year. State, this number is significant mostly because of SB 740. So Condor is moving into the new building, also increases their facility costs significantly. So you're actually capping out your SB 740 next year. If you had higher enrollment, you could actually get more SB 740. So as Condor's growth continues, that SB 740 enrollment will go up. You do see a big drop off in local revenue. This year was significant. You guys got a lot of donations for the iPads, et cetera. So we're not expecting that next year. So we pared that down. On Heritage, you saw a little bit higher, and that's because they got a Project Lead the Way grant of 10,000, which puts it above this. On the expenditure side, so staffing growth, again, new teachers for the added TK classes, as well as books and supplies. The big jump you'll notice here is on other services and operations. That's really driven by the increase in facility costs. So the Temple building was very, very cheap. And now you're going to a brand new building and those costs are significantly higher. When you look at books and supplies, it looks like a lot, but a big portion of this is nutritional services. So this year you were providing meals for, for pickup, but those costs were significantly lower versus when we're estimating you to be providing breakfast and lunch every single day. Looking at Horizon. So this is projected with 125 students. So operating income is right here, 67. So a little bit of increase from current year. Again, the big thing is the enrollment. So 125 from 68 to 118. For Horizon, we are including all of ESSER 2 already. So that is a significant portion to help it stay in the black next year. The IPI right now, we're looking at using it all in the current year. But depending on how the year ends out, we may push some of that into next year. But for this, we kept it all in the current year. And then the inclusion of the ELO costs for next year. So that's pretty much all of their ELO since they're not doing summer school, but most of their services will be during next school year. On the expenditure side, so you do see some increases. We did add a couple of teachers as well as some additional in-classroom support. So we had a couple additional TAs, which drives that classified salaries cost up. The big increase in book supplies, again, is primarily driven by your nutritional costs. And then here, this is now that Horizon is growing, it's starting to get a bigger chunk of those CMO shared expenses. So that went up quite a bit as well. Any questions on the budgets before? I'll also discuss a little bit when we get to the budget approvals, because cash flow for the growing schools is going to be a little tight. And we are looking at most likely a loan for Heritage at this point. All right, looking at how we're doing year to date through May. So it's going to be a very healthy year for the middle school. Again, so this year you're getting your ADA based off of last year, which was that 370. So you have a lot of additional funding coming in. You've already gotten your first installment of in-person instruction, but we're pushing that to next school year for the middle school, and the first installment of expanded learning grant arrived. On the expenditure side, everything is on track. So you're on target or ahead of target, which means you're below your percentage. So overall, this is 73.48. Again, it's driven by 21st Century, but even with that, you're still above where you would be right now, which is about 91, 92%. Balance sheet for the middle school is very healthy. So you have 2.82 million in cash in the bank in your clearing account. Total assets of 6.7, liabilities of just under 1, so total equity for the middle school about 5.7 million. Looking at Heritage, so similar, they got the first installments of in-person instruction grant as well as ELO. Revenue for local went up a bit. You got some more donations that were put in, so going very healthy. But the reason this is over 100% off the second interim is at the second interim timing, we did not include in-person instruction or ELO grant. So the fact you receive those first installments, it's what's driving that number above. On the expenditure side, so everything is on track except for classified salaries. Classified salaries were above target last 2 months as well, but it significantly went up in May. So you guys went up by about 25 to 30% between Condor and Heritage. So I'm assuming this is just, school's back open, TA's got more hours. So it works out because we can cover some of that with the in-person instruction grant that arrived for this year. But overall, definitely on track at 85.85%. Heritage's balance sheet, so 451,000 in cash in the bank account and county treasury, total assets of 1.9 million, liabilities of 1, so just under 900,000 in total equity for Heritage. Looking at Condor, so I'm a broken record, but similar thing, got their first installments of the IPI and the ELO. That's why it's above your second interim, because we didn't include those at second interim at that time frame. So that's making it healthy. When we look at the expenditures, again, everything's on track except classified salaries, trending just above. And again, driven by TA costs in May, which were about 30% higher than your average month for the school year so far. But overall, still in a good spot at 82%. For the Condor's balance sheet, very healthy. So 119,000 in cash in bank and county treasury. So total assets of 1.8 million. Liabilities just over 900,000. So total equity of just about $1 million. Horizon. So similar, they got their first installments as well. Their expenditures on track. Their TA cost a little bit above. But overall, they're still on track at 82.76%. Its balance sheet's the tightest one, so only 288,000 currently in the bank and the clearing account. Total assets of just under 600,000. Liabilities are pretty high, and so the equity is only 27,000 for Horizon. We always look at outstanding checks. So the good news is no new outstanding checks were added since last month. The bad news is we still have the two here. So a Feasible Solutions and a reimbursement for or an invoice from Alberto Holguin. So we're still working on getting those cleared out. And then you have your check registers for the month of May.
Does that conclude?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. So action items. 4.1, can I get someone to make a motion to approve the 2021-2022 board meeting calendar?
I, Michelle Bauer, make a motion to approve the calendar.
Can I get a second?
I second it.
Any discussion?
Yes. There's a couple of decisions we need the board to make today on the calendar. As always, we hold the meeting on the third Monday of the month unless there's a conflict with the holidays or other school events. So we can see that we have one in late August, September, October. The one in typically what we've done in the past is we have had one in November and not one in December, but that creates an issue with the is it P1, Arturo? It's
Period 1P2.
First
approval.
interim reports are generally due in December, as well as your audit report.
So I'm giving Arturo some power to sway the board here. So we would forego the November meeting, collapse that into the December so that we don't have to call a special meeting. And so my question to you, Arturo, to inform the board, is 12/6 too early for those reports? And would 12/13?
So if it was to choose between December or something in November, both the 6th or 13th, I think would be fine. The 13th, I think, would guarantee, especially on the audit report, because that's generally not always under our control. But either date should be okay.
Okay, and the reason I bring this up to the board is just because I'm really looking ahead to just anticipate possible conflicts with your schedules, so that we don't have these ongoing issues of attendance and trying to get quorum. So for the board, then I think maybe you guys should discuss whether 12/6 or 12/13 works for you guys, given the fact that you have winter breaks and things like that coming in about right around the 19th, I believe.
I mean, if we were going to take a vote, I mean, 12/13 is fine for me.
You guys aren't really voting right now, but just discussing it, and then I can put in what you guys think would be appropriate. The other three board members, do you think that 12/13 would be okay?
For me, I prefer 12/6, December 6th, because I might have a trip plan in mid-December.
So I can go either way. If we're not going to have one in November, and December is a shorter month,
Mhm.
I'm guessing that the 6th is a better date because
Mhm.
it balances out the time between the
October.
November, right, and then the January absorbs the December. Just a thought, but I'm fine either way.
Yeah, I'm okay either way as well.
All right, so
I think we should put the 12/13, just so we can give enough time for the auditor report preliminary to come back. So that way we don't have to change it. And then if it comes back, as we get closer to that date, we can always,
we'll have other board members as well if Susie
wow.
is not available. So just, all right, so we will we'll put it at 12/13 for now, knowing that there might be a possible conflict that she's alerted to. Dr. has alerted us already. Great. 124, 228, 324. And then we get to April. It would typically fall on 4/18. However, that's the day after spring break, that Monday following the Easter weekend. And I just anticipated that there could be, even though we'll be back in school, I anticipated that there could be issues with board members maybe being out of town for the Easter weekend. And we could do it on the following Monday, the 25th.
Yeah, I like 4/25 better. If anyone else, what their thoughts are, they want to share their thoughts.
I don't know what the Berkeley calendar is. That's my only concern. And I mean, I'm on vacation now, so it's fine with me, whatever you guys want.
Okay. I think the 4/25 avoids conflicts with the UC system as well. So if we don't hear anything else, we'll go with 4/25, and then 5/23, and then the last one, it would typically fall on 6/20, which is late in June, and some of the reason we're having an issue right now. So I said here on this thing with Icon's approval, we could do 6:13. Arturo, would you give us your approval for 6:13?
As long as the principals are up for it.
Well, we are going to do it differently this next year. As you know, Colin in his evolving duties is going to take on writing the LCAPs. So the principals will have a smaller role in that, which should make this end of the year a little bit easier. But I feel like this is better to shoot for 6:13 and have quorum easily made on a regular meeting and to have to try to figure out special meetings, because these really, having special meetings is not optimal for these kinds of meetings where we have such important stuff. So if everyone's in agreement, we will shoot for 6:13. And Colin, we'll have to figure out to give you time off to go work on these somewhere.
That works for me. There will be less next year than there was this year.
That's true. All right. So we are going to be looking then at 12/13, 4/25, and 6/13 for this calendar. Now if there's no other discussion, you can have a vote.
Okay. All in favor by saying aye individually, Joe Rubio absent, Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidell absent, Paul Vieira, aye, Michelle Bauer Bean,
I,
Dr. Susie O.
I,
Okay, motion is passed. 4.2, Vista Charter Global Academy and Vista Heritage Global Academy, over 25,000 for furniture, guided reading and classroom libraries. Can I get someone to make a motion to approve?
I, Mimi Kim, make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
I, Susie, will second it.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor by saying aye individually, Joe Rubio absent, Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidell absent, Paul Vieira, aye, Michelle Bauer Bean,
I,
Dr. Susie O.
I,
Okay, motion is passed. Can I get someone to make a motion to approve the Vista Charter master service agreement with Icon?
I, Mimi Kim, motion to approve, Icon contract.
Can I get a second?
I second it, Susie O.
Any discussion? Okay,
Icon is great.
all in favor by saying aye individually, Joe Rubio absent, Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidell absent, Paul Vieira, aye, Michelle Bauer Bean,
I,
Dr. Susie O.
I,
Motion is passed. Dr. Wilson, are we going to do all the LCAPs individually?
Unfortunately, they have to be done just as they're seen. However, and then on this particular one, some of the stuff won't need a lot of discussion going down, but on the LCAPs, the principals will need to review their indicators.
Okay. Can I get someone to make a motion to approve the 2021-2022 LCAP for Vista Charter Middle School?
I, Mimi Kim, motion to approve.
I, Paul Vieira, second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor by saying aye, Joe Rubio, absent, Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidell, absent, Paul Vieira, aye, Michelle Bauer Bean,
I,
Dr. Susie O.
I,
Motion is passed. Can I get someone to make a motion to approve calendar year 2021, 2022, the LCAP for Vista Horizon Global Academy?
I make a motion to approve 2021-22 LCAP for Vista Horizon Global Academy.
I, Paul Vieira, second. Any discussion? All in favor by saying aye. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mulladell, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Bauer Bean,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. Can I get someone to make a motion to approve the calendar year 2021, 2022, the LCAP for Vista Heritage Global Academy?
I mimic your motion to approve 2021-22 LCAP for Vista Heritage.
Can I get a second?
I second it.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor by saying aye individually. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mulladell, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Bauer Bean,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. May I get someone to make a motion to approve the 2021, 2022 LCAP for Vista Condor Global Academy?
I motion to approve 4.7 LCAP for Vista Condor.
Aye, Paul Vieira, second. Any discussion? All in favor by saying aye. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mulladell, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Bauer Bean,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
A motion has passed. May I get
May I
someone?
make a comment or a
Yes,
question? Yeah, so there was I think a big lawsuit recently where the parents were challenging the school about spending of the money for high needs students. And they wanted, the proof about that. And I just think that, we should be aware of how important it is and how, what we do impacts. Did anybody hear about that?
It was San Bernardino. Yeah. And because San Bernardino used a workaround to use funds that were intended for special ed, low income kids, et cetera, to use it for the general fund. So yes.
But we don't do any of that here, so.
No, and in fact, our principals have taken a lot of time working with Arturo individually, each one of them, to make sure that our local indicators are aligned closely with our expenditures. And as you guys have already you have seen that it's in their reports as well as during the hearing.
Yeah, it's just nice to know that everybody does such a fine job, and I wanted to make sure that we all understand that it's, it's serious stuff. So thanks, Don.
Yeah, and I don't want to belabor this, but it's, this has been a lot of work on the principal's plate lately. But I will say that, like, even Michael called me up and said, this, as hard as this has been getting all of this paperwork out, it really, like, he was really pleased at how it reminded him of, what these monies are for, and to make sure that they go towards the right area. So these are discussions that have happened because of the work they've done.
okay. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. So can I get someone to make a motion to approve 4.8, the 2021, 2022 preliminary budget for Vista Charter Middle School? I make a motion to approve. Paul Vieira. Can I get a second?
I
Second.
second Mimi Kim.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, let's take a vote. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye. Oops.
Jody Mulladell, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Bauer Bean,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. May I get someone to make a motion to approve 4.9, the 2021, 2022 preliminary budget for Vista Horizon Global Academy?
I Mimi Kim make motion to approve preliminary budget for Vista Horizon.
Can I get a second?
Second, Michelle Bauer.
Any discussion?
Just want to mention quickly, so the reports you see are the same ones that will be submitted to the district. So the LAUSD schools, LAUSD is always requesting them ahead of time, so those have been submitted already. And then the Orange County schools will be submitted before June 26th.
Thank you. Okay. So any further discussion? If not, we can take a vote. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidell, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Barabin,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. May I get someone to make a motion to approve 4.10, the 2021-2022 preliminary budget for Vista Heritage Global Academy?
I make a motion to approve 4.10 preliminary budget for Vista Heritage.
Michelle Bauer, second.
Any discussion?
So as I mentioned earlier, so currently in the report, you'll notice there's a cash flow section for Heritage. With current numbers today, we are estimating that they'll need about a $75,000 loan in August. That may change depending how they end this year, so we'll continue to track that. But I do want to make that aware to everyone, and we'll most likely utilize the Lumen that was set up prior and approved by the board to be able to support that. And that's due to the fact that the increase in enrollment, the state doesn't pay you on that enrollment until they see it in an ADA report, which will not be till after P1. So at the beginning of the year, you're getting paid off of your current ADA from this current year.
Thank you, Arturo. So we'll take a vote. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidell,
Absent.
absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Barabin,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. May I get someone to make a motion to approve 4.11, the 2021-2022 preliminary budget for Vista Condor Global Academy?
Michelle Bauer Bean, so moved.
I second Mimi Kim.
Okay, any discussion?
So currently Condor does not appear to need a loan, although they get to about 17,000 in August. So we will be tracking that closely. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up.
Great, thank you. We'll take a vote. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidell, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Barabin,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. Can I get someone to make a motion to approve the 4.12, the 2020-2021 single plan for student achievement for Vista Charter Middle School?
I make a motion to approve 2020-21 single plan for student achievement SPSA for Vista Charter Middle School.
I, Paul Vieira, second. Any discussion?
I just want to put in that our principals worked very hard to make sure that their single plans are aligned with their LCAPs. So they are very, very closely aligned. And it goes back to the comment that Michelle made, again, ensuring that the monies go to the right kids in the right place.
So this, I also want to point out, so it's for this current school year because there was no official LCAP this year. For federal funds, we do need to have a SIPSA. So this highlights the use of your federal funds, which is targeted to those subgroups. So.
Thank you. We're going to take a vote. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidell, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Barabin,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. Can I get someone to make a motion to approve 4.13, the 2021 plan for student achievement, the SPSA for Vista Horizon Global Academy?
So moved. Michelle Bauer.
Paul Vieira, I second. Any discussion? Okay, no discussion. Let's take a vote. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidell, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Barabin,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. May I get someone to make a motion to approve 4.14, the 2021 Plan for Student Achievement SPSA for Vista Heritage Global Academy?
I make a motion to approve 2020-21 SPSA for Vista Heritage Global Academy.
Can I get a second?
I second Mimi Kim.
Okay, any discussion? Let's take a vote. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidow. Absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Bauer Bean,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. Can I get someone to make a motion to approve 415, the 2020-2021 Plan for Student Achievement, the SPSA for Vista Condor Global Academy?
I make a motion to approve 2020-21 SPSA for Vista Condor Global Academy.
Hi, Paul
Aye.
Vieira, second. Any discussion? No discussion. We'll take a vote. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Paul, Jody Mullidow, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Bauer Bean,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. May I get someone to make a motion to approve 4.16, the parent budget overview for Vista Charter Middle School?
I may make a motion to approve 416 parent budget overview.
Can I get a second?
I second it.
Any discussion?
So this is new to the
Thank
LCAP,
you.
although you saw it as well when we did the learning continuing attendance plan. So this is kind of the state's response, Michelle, to kind of like that concern. So this summarizes very quickly and in a much shorter document, the amount that were budgeted for those higher need students, as well as the actual expenditures. And if they came in, if the expenditures came in under the budgeted amount, then there is a prompt that the principals would have to respond to and say why that occurred. That did occur at two of the schools, at Heritage and at Horizon. For Horizon, it was because of a budgeted item that did not end up being utilized. And so that was explained. For Heritage, it's because due to the pandemic, a couple of items where the kids weren't in school every day, those costs trended lower than what they should have prior. But you'll see this
What-
every year and you'll see it.
Question, what are some of the typical items that you use this money? Parent training or, I mean, what are some of the typical ways?
So the biggest portion goes towards helping support TAs and instructional assistants in the classroom. So along with federal funds, you use these funds to support that. Principals focus on differentiation. So it's having teachers attend PD to help differentiate for the learning gaps that these kids would have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We can take a vote. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidow, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Bauer Bean,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. Can I get someone to make a motion to approve 4.16, the parent budget overview for Vista Charter, I'm sorry, for Vista Horizon Global Academy?
4.17.
4.17, thank you.
Michelle Bauer, so moved.
Can I get a second?
I
I
second.
second it. I'm sorry.
Any discussion? We could take a vote. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidow, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Bauer Bean,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. May I get someone to make a motion to approve the 4.18 budget overview for Vista Heritage Global Academy?
Michelle Bauer, so moved.
Can I get a second?
I second.
Any discussion? No discussion. Let's take a vote. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mullidow, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Bauer Bean,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. May I get someone to make a motion to approve 4.19, the parent budget overview for Vista Condor Global Academy?
Michelle Bauer, so move.
I, Paul Viera, second. Any discussion? We'll take a vote. Joe Rubio,
Absent.
absent. Mimi Kim,
I,
Jody Mulladell, absent. Paul Viera, aye. Michelle Bauer Bean,
Aye.
Dr. Susie O.
aye,
Motion is passed. May I get someone to make a motion to approve 4.20, the ESSER 3 Safe Return to In-Person Instruction Plan for Vista Charter Middle School, Vista Heritage Global Academy, Vista Condor Global Academy, and Vista Horizon Global Academy.
Michelle Bauer, so move.
I,
I,
Paul
Mimi,
Viera, second.
second. Oh,
I, Paul Viera, second. Any discussion?
what does ESSER stand for?
So it's the federal funding in response to the COVID epidemic. I'm not exactly sure what it stands for,
Okay.
but we've gotten 3 chunks of it. So
Uh,
this year you'll notice, so it's pretty much part of ESSER 3 funding is you have to have a plan for providing safe instruction back in person. You guys approved a plan back in January. So you're assuring that you've had that plan since before March 11th. The folks responsible for the plan will review it and update it within the next 6 months if necessary. And then you had public comment and input on it. So
And this-
Susie, I was going to say, Susie, ESSER stands for Elementary and Secondary Emergency Relief Fund.
Oh, thank you.
And
Quick Google search.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I was gonna say.
But it's on the
It's
attachment.
actually, if you look in the first paragraph of the documents, it explains what it is.
And again, you guys have already approved the first one, and Richard and Erica have kept us
Correct.
updated, and we've updated this all throughout the year as well.
Thank you.
This is the template document, right?
Yes, so this is a templated document. This is the part of the third stimulus package. We've already received ESSR 1 and ESSR 2 in the past, but with the ESSR 3, they want the schools to adopt a plan for safe reopening.
Thank you. Are we ready to take a vote? Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
I,
Jody Mulladell, absent. Paul Viera, aye. Michelle Bauer Bean,
I,
Dr. Susie O.
Aye,
Okay, motion is passed. May I get someone to make a motion to approve the 4.21, the appointment of a Vista Charter Public School Foundation board member and officers for 2021, 2022. This is a board resolution. So can I get, we can discuss it, but if we can I get someone to make a motion to approve it?
I, Mimi, can make a motion to approve.
I
Can we get-
second.
Okay, discussion. Don, you want to go over the,
Richard Hansberger from Hansberger and Klein is online with us, and he's here specifically to address this.
Yep. Good afternoon, everyone. So the Vista School Charter Schools Public Schools Foundation has been in existence for about 4 years. Unfortunately, it has never done any business, so it really has not had any revenues or expenses. And after 3 years, if that occurs, we're forced to close it and wind it down. So it loses its tax exempt status. So it's become a liability. We need to dissolve it at this point. So we're just going to ask the board to, because you control the foundation, so you have to appoint board members and officers to the foundation. We're just asking to appoint Paul as president and Dawn as secretary treasurer so that I can prepare the necessary dissolution paperwork easily and get it to them for signature, and we can file and get it off our plates.
I thought I was being dethroned.
you filed that with the Secretary of State, correct? Richard?
Sorry, Paul?
Oh, you filed that with the Secretary of State?
Yeah, that's correct. We've wrapped up, the auditor has wrapped up the tax returns, so we're poised to just now file the dissolution certificate and wind it down with the Attorney General. So I'll get that document to you and Dawn for signature once we get you appointed.
Very good. If no other discussion, we can take a vote. Joe Rubio, absent. Mimi Kim,
Aye.
Jody Mulladell, absent. Paul Vieira, aye. Michelle Barbine,
I,
Dr. Susie O.
Aye.
Motion is passed. So now if I can get someone to, we're gonna go into a closed session. Public 5.1, public employee evaluation. So let me bring up the agenda. So our closed session was just a discussion, so we weren't able to take action. So based on Brown Act, right? Because we were just having a discussion. So we want to move to board comments. Any other board comments? 6.1.
No.
Okay, I'll make board comments. I think Richard, we're gonna have our next board meeting. We'll discuss whatever actions we may take, or we'll put on the agenda, correct? Are you there, Richard? Maybe he stepped away. There he goes.
No, I'm here. I had a bad connection for some reason. I'm back.
So we just wanted to make sure that we're not gonna have a special meeting due to the Brown Act, right? We're gonna have our next board meeting and we'll have whatever action items that we need to take.
Correct, yeah. And I'll talk to Dr. Wilson about that. We'll get that scheduled for you.
Awesome. Okay, if there's no other board comments, if I can have someone make a motion to adjourn.
I make a
Michelle
motion to
Bauer.
adjourn the meeting.
I second.
Paul Vieira, all in favor by saying aye. Everyone could just say aye.
Aye. Yeah.
Aye.
Dr. Susie O,
Aye.
okay, meeting has been adjourned.
Thank you, everybody, for a
Thank you.
very long but very, very important meeting. We really
Thank you.
appreciate you being here and being on time. It was, honestly, we can't do this without you. And
We appreciate you too. Thank you.
Yes.
today's meeting was a
Nice.
really important meeting for our being able to function. So thank you.
Have a
Thank you,
wonderful
guys.
weekend.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.